it's Heather with Dump Truck Diaries, and I'm coming to you from New York. I'm back from Isle of Man, and I have none other than an Isle of Man guest who's supposed to be clicking on a link. Oh, Phil, are you there? You can see me. This is the first time I actually got this right.
Thank you. Sorry, I've got some lovely friend of mine. You okay?
I'm awesome. This is Phil. Phil is the piano player that played Music Box Dancer for me the other night that I put the clip on the show for. Say hi.
Hi, hello.
So where are your buddies? Do you like my hat? Look, I got a Manx wool hat from the textile shop.
Do you know what? It really suits you.
I told my
buddies to piss off for a bit.
Oh, did you? Oh, they're not going to come in and they're not going to come in and harass you?
Girls here, like, hold on. Do you want to say hello to these girls?
Hi.
This is
I'm
my
moving back
friend
there.
Heather from New York City.
Oh, yeah.
Live on YouTube. Yeah.
I'm not in New York City. I live in the country.
Well, New York State.
But I did spend a lot of time in New York City.
Yeah.
So I was talking to poor Adrian. Adrian got a little butthurt earlier because he got shy and he said he didn't want to have a conversation that was going to be public. And I'm like, wait a second. The whole conversation was about the fact that I'm having issues with guys that are mad that I won't bang them on day one.
Really? Why don't you do that?
So I'm supposed to let somebody enter my body without them even knowing my last name. But a man can't have a conversation about dating publicly because that's too uncomfortable and shy. But
I'm going in. Hold on. Watch, Heath.
Oh my God! Are you drunk?
Here we go. This place must bring back memories to you.
What?
Here we go. I'm going to sit down where I can hear you a bit better.
Okay. And then really quick, I'm going to give the breakdown of how I met you.
Oh, don't you?
I'm not going to get you in trouble. Maybe not. So, Anne, this is Phil.
No.
I wanted to hear the piano, and so I called the Empress Hotel and I double checked that they had live music that night. They had a piano player, and I was so excited. I knew in advance that as soon as I got there, I was going to ask him to play Music Box Dancer, and they either know it or they don't. And he knew it, and he said he hadn't played it in years, but he did a spectacular job. And you guys saw the clip. I put it in my video. So this is Phil, the piano player. And then we were leaving to go to another place, and Phil was standing outside on the curb with some guy, and we just sort of clicked. And I was naughty. When Adrian went to get the car, I said, Adrian, I'll be right back. I have to use the ladies' room.
You were quite naughty, Heather.
A little bit.
Do you know what?
A little bit.
I appreciate your style.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw myself under the bus and drive it back up. Beep, beep. I'll drive it all up.
Throw yourself under the bus.
I will. I was a little dishonest, and I said to Adrian, I'll be right back. I have to use the ladies' room because I'm like, what am I going to say? And I ran back in, and I'm like, hi, I'm Heather. And he's like, hi, I'm married. And I was like, because fuck.
Heather, you know I'm an honest guy.
First words out of his mouth, hi, I'm married. I was like, fuck. All right, nice to meet you. Have a good night. And I laughed.
You were like, fuck off, you fucking idiot. I know.
No, I appreciated the honesty. I appreciated the honesty. So there's a couple of people that joined in. Hello, shalom. So here's the thing. What?
Join in the conversation, please, everybody.
All right, so here's the thing. I have a profile on a dating app. And when I was in Isle of Man, I wanted to just have somebody to spend time with that I wouldn't have to go to every meal by myself and stand like a wallflower everywhere I went. And so I decided to put it in passport mode and say that my location was Isle of Man. And I changed my profile and I said, I'm not looking for hookups, not looking for one night stands, but I'm here visiting. And if anybody wants to hang out, come have fun with me. And I got a few responses. And one guy, I think, got bored easily because he realized that I was actually being truthful, that I wasn't going to fuck him. And so he canceled. But Adrian actually showed up. And I spent 2 days with Adrian. He is the nicest fucking guy in the world.
Really?
Love him. Love him. So respectful. So respectful. I mean, he would walk me to my hotel every night. And then leave.
But when I saw you and Adrian together, if I'm being brutally honest, there wasn't a spark there.
You said that. Well, I'm not. Adrian's a friend of mine, and Adrian's like my friend now. But the thing was, when you saw me and Adrian, you said there was no spark. We met like 10 minutes prior. I mean, I met him outside. I met him in the hotel at the piano bar. Like,
And
we
then
knew
you
each
had to
other for
go,
about 45 seconds.
and then you had to go to the restroom.
Well,
Come
because
on,
he was yes,
come on.
yeah. Well, because I wasn't looking to hook up with Adrian. Adrian was just somebody I was spending time, and we went to the next place. But you know what? In his defense, he was a little shyer than me. I mean, people don't think I'm shy. I am.
You're not
And
shy.
Adrian was shy. I think he just took a little while to warm up. And I'm really glad that I gave him an opportunity because he's a nice guy. And
You know what?
he seemed bored with me.
No, you're
So
not.
really,
You're not shy. And
you know what? It depends on what we're talking about. And that's why the conversation is going to change. When it comes to sex, I am very shy.
when it comes to what?
Very,
Sorry,
very shy. I am.
sex.
I'm extremely shy. I don't like talking about it with people I don't know. I don't like. I It's uncomfortable when you first start dating somebody, and the reason why is because of the expectation that is set. That there's sort of like, I bought you dinner, you owe me something, or it's 3 dates, or there's like a
No.
guideline. Well, it maybe not there, but it is here. And
Well,
I
no,
ran
no,
into
not here. If
well,
I bought someone
exactly.
dinner,
That was my
I
whole
wouldn't.
point.
I wouldn't
That
expect
was
to
my
bang someone. If I
no.
bought them dinner.
Well, the
Obviously
thing is,
I'm a married man. But if I met a girl when I was single, I wouldn't expect to bang her.
well, there's a difference between the guides and the Isle of Man and here, because I'll tell you, if your profile says, I'm looking for a hookup and a one night stand, then that's fine. There are going to be people that are looking for that
Of
also.
course, of
The
course.
issue that the issue that I have is the profiles that say looking for a long-term relationship. Let's start out as friends and see where it goes. If there's chemistry and it turns into more, fine. And then as soon as you start talking to them, they ask you to send them pictures because they're watching Pornhub, or they ask you if it's disgusting. And I know it's funny, but it's kind of not. So
It,
here's what happened to me today. This is what sparked me wanting to do this today.
okay, okay.
When I was on my way home yesterday, I had a connecting flight in Boston. Because I was in Boston, the stupid fucking app changed my location to Boston. And so it gave me all of these other people in my profile to like look through. And a few of them looked interesting. So when I hit the like button, it said, oh, you have a match. So I started talking to these people. And now all of a sudden they're not 5 miles away. They're 283 miles away. I said, let me guess, you're in Boston. So the one guy says to me, so what is it that you're looking for? And we were having a conversation. And I said, you know what? Normally I don't even get into what I want with people because no one wants to hear it. They don't want to hear it. As soon as So I said to him, I'll tell you what I want. I want companionship. I want to do something fun with somebody without the expectation of having to fit a guideline. Just anticipation, fine, but
Of
not
course.
expectation. I was in the middle of typing. He unmatched me. I,
Now,
I, I scared of
yeah, but
the conversation. The conversation go. He
for,
unmatched me in the middle of.
but for my opinion, right? If you are on these websites, because I've never been on them ever, and you're sort of like you swipe right, or I don't even know what it is. Don't even know what it is because I don't do it. But if you're on these websites, surely is it not just a hookup? I don't know.
No, it's definitely not. So let me tell you right now, it depends on the profile. So your profile, they give you options. You're looking for friends, you're looking for short term,
Oh, yeah,
you're looking
okay,
for
okay,
you're
okay,
looking for
okay.
fun, you're looking for long term, or I haven't figured it out yet. And so then you put a profile up that says what you're into. And there are people that say, I'm into monogamy, polyamory, open relationships, ethical,
Oh,
not whatever, non-monogamy. I don't know. There are people that are like swingers. They put that in their profile, and so that's who the app will match you up with. But when somebody says, "Okay, I'm a really nice guy, and I'm looking to find somebody that I have a connection with," and if it turns into more, fine. And then all of a sudden, you don't put out, or you won't answer the question about whether you've had a 10-inch cock before. They just drop you.
10 inch.
Yeah, the guy's like, have you ever had 10 inches before? It was like question number 3, like message number 3. The
I
real
wish,
question is, have you
I
ever
wish
had
I had
10
10
inches?
inch. I wish I had 10 inch.
And I said, you know what? I said, you know what, motherfucker? I said, you had a really nice profile and you had a lot going for you. Really, you did. Except now you had to ruin it because my profile gave no impression that that's what I was about, fucker. And now you ruined it. I said, and then I'm thinking to myself, by the way, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. You have 10 inches? Great. Go enjoy that with somebody else because you're not fucking coming near me with that. You're not turning my shit into throwing hot dogs down a hallway.
That's
No,
nice. No,
no.
I mean, like, if he's got 10 inches, he's a very lucky man.
First of all, I'd be like, can I just order half? Can I have the appetizer plate, please? Point is, so it was like, hi, how are you? And he's like, great, how are you? I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And then he's like, well, the real question is, have you ever had 10 inches? I'm like, that's what you fucking lead with? And you say that you're looking for a long-term relationship. So my question is this. If you are looking for a long-term relationship and you wind up hooking up with a woman who seems pretty cool, and then all of a sudden she's blowing you under the table in a restaurant, or you take her home and she turns out to be swinging from the fucking chandeliers, great, it's a great night. But is that going to be long-term material? Because I'm thinking, looking down the road, even if it turns into something long-term, aren't you going to
No.
start questioning how many other people she was swinging from the fucking chandelier with? Or has everybody had a turn? Is it like ridden hard, put away wet? Like, is the fucking meat curtain flapping in the breeze? Like, if it truly is someone that you're looking for long-term, where is the anticipation? Where is the build-up? Where is the progression? Because if you lead out of the gate with, have you ever had 10 inches? Where is it supposed to go after that?
Yeah, but
Just a
seriously
delay
though.
of gratification.
Yeah, but if you really like someone there, Heather, right? Okay. And you were like building up
Tinder.
and building up, building up, building up, building up, and you've never been intimate with him, and then you found out he had like 2 inches. How would you feel?
I don't think that that's really the. I mean, it depends. I mean, does he know how to use it? Does he know how to use
I've
it?
no
Because I
idea.
mean, listen, the guy with 10 inches might think that he's such a fucking slice of pie that he doesn't do anything. You know, the guy feels like he could be like, I have 10 inches and I'm going to show up correct, which means I don't have to do anything. I'm going to lay here. And it would be a waste of 10 inches. And then you might have the guy that's got 2 inches and he's like, you know what? I better fucking earn this. And it might be the best fucking lay you ever get. So I don't judge a book by its cover.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I'd probably feel bad for him. You missed my definition of a penis, a dick, and a cock.
I've heard that one. I've seen it. I've watched you. I like that
So
one. It made me
you saw
laugh.
my so that would technically be a penis. But
It
still,
did make me
you know
chuckle.
what? There are other ways to get there.
Yeah, well, I've never had any problems myself. Like, I'm just
Well,
talking.
well, you missed the video about the pinky guy.
No, no, I know. I saw that one as well.
Okay,
The 6'8" guy with the
6'8",
little.
size 15 shoe. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So here's the thing. I don't believe in just randomly fucking people, and I think the reason is when it comes to the conversation, I turn into like a little kid. And I'm not saying I'm boring, and I'm not saying that I swing from the chandeliers. Things will change. Once I get comfortable with somebody, I'm willing to talk about more stuff. I mean, whatever. But when it comes to somebody touching me, that's why they call it intimacy. It's intimate. I don't randomly want somebody touching me unless I want to be touched, and that does not come with a fucking cocktail unless as soon as I meet you. And I'm not saying that it's 3 months or 6 months or 5 dates. It's not any particular time frame. It's whenever you're with someone that you have a chemistry with and you feel comfortable with, then it will naturally progress. And when it's supposed to happen, it will.
Heather,
But if I have to climb out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, sneak out of bed, fix my hair and makeup, and slide back into bed to make it look like I wake up like this, then it's too soon. It's not happening until I can roll over
I'm
with
going for
my
a
hair
cigarette.
matted to my
Yeah.
face, with dragon breath, maybe a little drool on the side of my mouth, and I'm like pulling the sheet up and saying, "Good morning." That's when I'm going to do it. Because
I
that's
agree.
when it's going to be good.
Sorry, I just dropped every bloody one of my cigarettes then. Like, fucking.
Oh, you start.
Anyway.
All
Are
right,
you glad
so
to be back in the States now, Heather, or what?
I'm back in the States. I am moving there. I've already applied for 5 or 6 jobs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, yeah, well, you come and see me in the
Go
hotel.
out with your friends. I know that I told
Well,
you I wouldn't
they
tease
want to
you.
go out and go to the casino.
Go gamble. Go gamble. And then
I
go
will.
home to your fucking wife.
I'm gonna.
You know
She
I'm
loves
fucking
me.
with you. You know I'm fucking with you.
I know you're fucking with me.
I'm coming back.
There we
Wait,
go.
how tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, that's right. That's right. So when you're divorced, you can let me know. I'm half joking. There's a little truth in every joke.
Yeah, I like your
But I do
style.
owe a shout out to Adrian. I love him. He's a respectable guy. I will always, I talk to him all day long. We've been talking all day. He's a great guy. And he walked me to my hotel every night, completely out of his way, and left like a fucking gentleman.
I missed that, Heather, because I was
Don't worry,
listening
everybody
to
else heard it.
here.
It wasn't even for you. It was for everybody else.
No,
Go to the
okay.
casino with your friend.
Okay.
Thank you, Phil. Everybody say bye to Phil. Phil's drunk. Oh, wait, Phil. Before you go, do you have
Yeah.
access to? Do you have access to the piano?
No, not now. I'll get
No.
sacked.
Really? All right. So you played Music Box Dancer tonight though?
I have done actually, and actually, I was thinking of you when I played it for you
You
tonight.
did play it. Okay, it's my
I,
favorite
I,
song.
I, I was thinking.
All right, so
I
I'm
played
gonna
it for you
get back
tonight.
there as soon as I can, and in the meantime, we'll just keep chatting. Go out with
Cool
your
as
drunk
fish.
friends. Go
Right,
win
look
some
after
money at the
yourself.
casino.
Yep.
What?
I won't. I'm a winner. I'm a born winner.
Yes.
You all right?
Have a great night.
Heather,
Yes.
you too, sweetheart. Look after yourself, all right? Thanks for the
All right, I'll
chat.
see you soon.
Ciao.
Ciao. Cheerio.
Ciao.
Fucking drunk nut. It's Saturday. Okay, so how do I get rid of him on there? Does it close out? So here's the thing. It's Saturday night in the Isle of Man, and it's 5 hours ahead of time from where I am. And it's 7 o'clock here. Oh, wait. What time is it? 7 o'clock? Well, my clock must need a battery. It says 1:45. I thought it was, what the fuck time is it? 12 minus 7. Is it 5:25? I think it's 5:30. So it's 10:30 there. And he plays piano. Did he just sign back on? Bill, hang up the link. Can I kick him out? How do I do that? Wait, what happened? Oh, is he? He might be mildly retarded. How do I get rid of him? I can't. Oh, there. Okay, he's gone. Anyway, that was like a 99% truth story. I didn't just go running back inside to talk to him. Yeah, he was all over that shit like white on rice, and then told me he was fucking married, which was totally true. But I don't go chasing fucking men. But I will tell you, and it's Tinder. But here's the thing: before you knock Tinder, with the guidelines they have, you can legitimately meet somebody on Tinder. It's not just a hookup site. I know primarily it was when it first started. And in all honesty, I've tried Match.com. I've tried Plenty of Fish. I even tried, what is it, Our Time? Which is like for people 50 and over. I'm 49. So I'm like, I can try the Our Time. It doesn't make a difference. They're all the same fucking people on all the sites, because the people that were on Match.com years ago were the same people that were on Plenty of Fish. And I met TJ on Tinder. So, and TJ and I were together for 6 years, and we were going to get married. I mean, and TJ was not a hookup guy, and I was not. It all depends on the profile. The issue that I'm having is that I'm honest in my profile, and I'm not getting the honesty reciprocated. And I kind of almost want to put this out there for the guys that are like having a hard time meeting a woman. Here's why. Don't fucking lie. Just don't lie. I don't believe that when you meet somebody an hour later, your chemistry is so on fire that an hour later, you're banging up against a wall somewhere, and that's romantic and hot. And it's got staying power. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And it takes me a little while to get comfortable with someone, even having this conversation, let alone being intimate with them. I'm not like a big, huge, touchy-feely person. I love affection. I love affection from people I'm comfortable having touch me. And I don't like people I don't know touching me, especially internally. It's very violating if it's not comfortable. And it takes, I just don't fuck like that. It doesn't mean I'm boring. I'm a little prude. I am a little prude in the beginning. And I'm not saying I turn into a dirty whore down the road, but things have a natural progression. And to me, the anticipation is half the fun. It's kind of like they say when you go on a road trip, the destination isn't always the best part. It's the whole time getting there. And if you have everything right out of the gate, what is there to look forward to? We have such an instant gratification society that nobody has the patience to work for anything or wait for anything. It's always right now, what I want right now. And I just don't see it that way. I feel like if it's worth having, it's worth waiting for. And not saying that if I'm worth having, I'm worth waiting for. I mean the other way too. If that person's worth having, I don't want it right now. I want to wait. Like, am I sure? Really? There's a reason why when I was a kid they had bases. I mean, you didn't just hit a fucking grand slam home run every time. There was first and second and third, and they were all different, and they would, go home hot and bothered, take a cold shower, and anticipate and really look forward to seeing that person and being like, wonder where it's going to go next time. I mean, there's no wondering if everything is right out of the fucking gate. And I don't know. I was talking to Adrian earlier today, and I tried to explain to him. I said, isn't there some sort of progression that you look forward to? I look for that feeling of like that spark, the electricity of having someone just touch your arm and be like, who, the fucking princess and the pea. I actually told that to TJ. I told that to TJ when the first time TJ kissed TJ. I didn't even kiss TJ. He was the same way. TJ and I didn't even like make out until for like 3 dates. I mean, I don't think he would mind me saying this. We didn't have sex for 3 months. And it's not because it wasn't there. It's just neither one of us rushed it. And we went away for the weekend and didn't do anything. And it was the best trip either of us had ever taken. And it's really that trip connected. I know TJ fell in love on that trip, and so did I. And we didn't even have sex. We went to Virginia Beach. It was the best fucking trip. That guy didn't want to go home. And he was trying to shorten the trip before we left. And by the time we were on the trip, he was like, he didn't want to go home. And he didn't get, and neither one, we didn't do it. But the first time that TJ kissed me, I told him it was the fucking story of the princess and the pea. After she slept on all the mattresses and she was tested and she felt the lump, she made the guy kiss her and said, if you're really a prince, the fireworks will go off. Well, fucking they did. And it was like, wow. And it was the cutest little thing when we used to joke, be like, you want to take a walk down the hall? Yeah. I mean, does it progress from there? Yeah. As people get more comfortable, you're willing to, whatever. I'm not going to talk about that, but I just can't be that way right out of the gate. And you know what? There's always an exception. There's an exception to the fucking rule. And then the exception proves the rule. And I wasn't sure I was going to go here, but I will in a minute. So I was telling Adrian today that there's that anticipation, that spark, the looking forward to something. It's not expectation, it's anticipation. And there's a difference. Plus, I mean, relationships, if it's really going to be one, are complicated enough to begin with. There are so many nuances and there's so much to learn about a person. And then you jump in bed and it complicates everything because now someone's emotions are involved on a much different level, whether it's him or her, whether you want it to or not. You say you can keep it separate. Somebody fucking can't. And suddenly it's like, wait a minute. We had sex and you're still dating people on the dating app, but we had sex. But it wasn't even discussed. Are we in a monogamous relationship? Are we still dating? Are we having fun? Like, people want to get into that sexual encounter before that stuff is even discussed. Like, I don't know. Even if I was going to give somebody a one night stand, fine. Let's for argument's sake say I do. Am I going to automatically assume that he's off the dating site now? Like, are we together? Or do I now want to have a one night stand with somebody else? Or he's going to have a one night stand with somebody else? Is everybody protected? Or who's giving me fucking the gift that keeps on giving? Who's going to wind up giving me herpes? Because I don't have it and I don't want it. So it's not even always about whether or not you know somebody. It's also about, well, if they're doing this with you, who the fuck else are they doing it with? So I said to Adrian earlier today, rather than rushing into something like you're at a family style dinner and everything gets thrown on the table, passed around, take what you want and pass it around. Would you rather wait a little while and make sure that this is what you want? Because then after the complication is in there, how do you go backwards? You can't go backwards. Like one of the redneck comedians. You can't unfuck the babysitter. You can't unfuck somebody. You can't go backwards. You can always go into it, but how do you back out of it? You know what? We got intimate too soon. Let's slow down and stop and get to know each other. It's bad. You can't put the fucking cart before the horse. Am I looking for one night stands? Some people, okay, so the people that are looking for one night stands, that's fine. There's an option called fun or short term. And then you have in your profile, you can say, I'm looking for that. I've seen the people that say open marriage, ethically non-monogamous, open marriage, and that's whatever. At least they're honest. Well, when I see that, I know that that's not what I'm looking for. So I skip that one and I'll go on to, but when somebody says that they're looking for a long-term relationship, or like for me, it says still figuring it out. I don't know if I want a long-term relationship right now because I'm still figuring it out. And what I was trying to answer to somebody today was we started to have a decent conversation. And he said, so what exactly are you looking for? And I said to him, I could tell you that I really don't have any idea, but I do. I know exactly what I want, but I don't know how to say it to somebody without them getting angry and assuming that they're not ever going to get something. Said, I want companionship. There are parts and aspects of being single that I love. I love my independence. I love that I can come home and do what I want. I can come and go as I please. I can go on vacation by myself. But sometimes I want to go to dinner with somebody. If I have an event to attend, I'd like to not do everything by myself. I'd like a companion, somebody to do something fun with. But in the meantime, I don't want the expectation that I owe them something because they've spent time with me. So maybe it turns into something, maybe it doesn't. But why can't we just let time tell and let nature unfold and take its course on its own? And I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had pretty soon. Because if you don't have at least for me, if you don't have the conversation pretty quickly, then the expectation is there. And then they feel like they've been led on. So I kind of lead out of the gate with just by the way, I'm more like the tortoise, not the hare. Like and I make jokes. You need the VIP fucking Willy Wonka golden ticket to get into Fort Knox. Like Fort Knox is not open for public viewing. It just isn't. And I kind of make light of it, but it's not a joke. It's true. It doesn't mean, just because I'm a little shy about that in the beginning and I'm like a little bit prudish, like, I don't know, even kissing somebody, you want to put your fucking tongue in my mouth? Is it clean? Like, to me, it's kind of like Pretty Woman. She said she wouldn't kiss anyone in the mouth because it was too personal. It's really fucking personal to put your mouth on somebody else's mouth and put your mouth on somebody else's organs. So does everybody, people do that? Of course. But can I know what your favorite color is? Can you tell me what your hometown is? What was your most embarrassing moment as a child? Can we have a conversation? Like, can we get to know each other before you expect me to give you a mouth hug? Like, and it's not even like it goes both ways. I don't want anybody doing that to me. Like, it's uncomfortable thinking like, I don't know. It's so personal. You're in a vulnerable state. I think I need to be comfortable with someone to be in that vulnerable state. Like, so anyway, the guy that I'm talking to says, what are you looking for? And I said, well, I want companionship with the anticipation, but not the expectation. Like, let things progress on their own. And certainly, I'm sure human nature, they will. But it's not an instantaneous thing. And I hit send. So I didn't want to send this big long message. I figured I would elaborate afterwards. Well, I'm like typing. I'm like, it doesn't mean I don't want to, like, do I want to have sex? Yeah, of course I want to have sex. Just not today. I mean, yeah, I would like to have sex today, but it's not going to happen. And I was typing a sentence and all of a sudden the screen flipped. And I'm like, wait, what happened? I thought I hit too fast and went to a different screen. And I didn't. He unmatched, which means the entire conversation we had got deleted and it looked as if it had never happened. It was erased. He fucking unmatched from me because he asked me what I was looking for. And his profile said long-term, but open to short. Let's spend time together getting to know each other. And if it turns into something great, which was exactly what I was saying, except that's not what he fucking meant. He meant, fuck me. And if you don't, I'll unmatch. That's the bullshit I have an issue with. But I sat there with my mouth open. I'm like, is there nobody left in this world that understands? I mean, I don't know. I think sexual tension's great. The buildup and the anticipation. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine what happens when it finally happens? It's like, yeah. I mean, whatever. So some people, Anne, let's see, I'm looking for the same type of person you're looking for. And you know what, Anne? I was so disheartened. And there was a big difference. That was a comparison that really was eye-opening to me. When I was in the Isle of Man and I changed my location, I'll tell you that the conversations that I had were night and day different. Guys in Ireland and the Isle of Man did not speak to me the way the men in the States did. Now, it's not everybody, but statistically and percentage-wise, I had talked to 4 or 5 people in the States. And of the 5 people I spoke to, one of them asked me to send him selfies while he watched Pornhub. Another one asked me if I was willing to wear hosiery because that was his fetish. I'm like, oh, fetishes, we've gotten there already? And the third one was the one that asked me if I've ever had 10 inches. Now, granted, I've had conversations with some nice people. They turned out to be either 2.5 hours away or too far. Or one guy where we were texting back and forth, and he just wasn't going to ask me out. I mean, we've been texting for like a month, and all good morning, lovely, good evening, love. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And so when I was messaging with the guys that were over there, everything was on the up and up. They didn't say anything inappropriate. They just sort of were like, okay, where are you at? I'll meet you. We'll go do something. We'll have some fun. And so I met Adrian, and there was not an expectation. And he's a nice guy. And I think Adrian's great. And when I go back to the Isle of Man, he's the first person to be like, hey, Adrian, what are you doing? You going to do lunch? And it doesn't mean that anything's ever going to happen. I don't know. But he was so respectful. And even Phil was, yeah, did he flirt with me? Yes, he fucking did. And I went back and he said, I'm married. It was like, okay, heard ya. Cool. And he was honest. I've had people that I talked to, there were 3 people Craig still sends me messages. He hopes I got home safely. I mean, he was a business owner. I spent as much time with Craig, as I did with Adrian. I met Craig in person, not on the app. I met him at Quids. Just struck up a conversation about moving there, and he was helpful. He made sure I got home safely that night. Adrian made sure I got back to my hotel safely the next night and the following night, which is why I wanted to go see him sing at the Opera House. Because why wouldn't you want to be supportive of somebody that just made sure you got home safe? I was interested to see what he does. And so then I saw Craig. I can't say it. He won't let Craig. I saw Craig for lunch the following day, and we just met for a quick drink. He had a meeting to go to because he's doing business deals and shit. And he said, nice to have met you. Have a safe trip back. He didn't try to take advantage. He didn't expect anything. And I thought he was a great guy. And him and Adrian will be the first, the three musketeers, Phil, Adrian, and Craig. When I go back, and I keep in touch with them. Somebody maybe get fucking WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp now because it's easier to chat with them through that with the different internet systems on the other side of the country. And so I'm keeping in touch with them. It's only been 1 day since I've been gone, I hope we keep in touch. And when I get back, I will definitely spend time with them. And I don't know what will happen anywhere. But you know what? I wanted to take my profile down, especially after this. I had someone I talked to last night. I put a message. I changed my profile again. My profile's been getting more and more arrogant. And I know that I can be very arrogant, but I'm getting fed up and I can't be any clearer. I've made my profile so fucking clear that it says, compliments will not get, what is it? Oh, compliments get you everywhere. I wrote, compliments will not get you everywhere. Chivalry will. Not looking for this, not looking for that. And it's not, I'm still getting bullshit. I'm getting people that like me that don't smoke. And then they have an issue that I smoke. Well, it says in my profile that I'm a social smoker. I don't fucking lie about it. I actually changed my profile and I said, take 30 seconds and invest the 30 seconds in reading someone's profile before you fucking swipe. 30 seconds. You can't give it you're looking at my picture. You're looking at my picture and you like the picture. And then you think that because you swipe, that's going to impress me when you didn't read anything. You're talking about a fucking paragraph. So now my profile is obnoxious. It just says truthful as fuck. My profile is getting more and more arrogant. As I said, this shit show is causing my profile to reach epic levels of arrogance, which I don't like. Let's make this really clear. Gentlemen are strong. Tough guys are weak. Chivalry always wins. If you have a wife, ask her for sex, not me. I'm like, smart, witty, sarcastic, and a little cranky right now. But if you're interested in being a gentleman, feel free to reach out. If not, move along. I mean, who the fuck wants to hang out with that? But you have to wonder, at what point did I get to that I had to be that blatant? There's another one I put. If you post pictures of your cars, your boat, your fancy cars, and your toys, just know that is bait for gold diggers. How much money you have has nothing to do with me. So don't complain when all you get are gold diggers, when you have no profile pictures, but you got your beach house, your boat, your camp, your trailer, your fucking motorcycle, and your jet skis. I mean, I'm not dating your jet ski, your boat, your motorcycle, your fucking beach house. I don't give a fuck if you have that stuff. But the girl that does, that's what you're going to get. And that's repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That is the definition of insanity. So I put on there, if you post your boat, your cars, and your toys, that is bait for a gold digger. What do I get? An hour later, a guy who's 2 inches shorter than me that put 3 pictures of motorcycles up, of the motorcycle itself, a picture of the open road from his windshield, and 1 picture of himself, and no profile. What am I supposed to click on? Great, send your bike over here. I'll ride that instead of you, because there's nothing to go by for him. Yeah, all right, send me the motorcycle. I'll take a ride on that. I'm going to delete the profile. I'm just going to hang out with my chickens. I love that hat. Thank you. This is Manx wool. It is from the Manx textile mill in the Isle of Man, and I had to wear it. Let me get my wrap. I got a wrap because I love a wrap. Hold on, time out. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you Manx wool fashion. This is my wrap. Let me put this down. And by the way, I wound up having to walk in the Syracuse airport last night in my AC/DC socks because I couldn't get my shit in all my suitcases and my shoes. For the first time, I just had enough shit that I couldn't get it all packed. And I had to wear my ostrich feather boots from 6 o'clock in the morning in Ireland on a 6-hour and 45-minute flight to Boston and a 7-hour layover in Boston, walking the streets of Boston, having lunch, getting a lobster roll on Newbury Street, walking in cobblestone in these fucking boots that by the time I got to Syracuse, they took me through security and I said, if you make me take these boots off, they're not going back on. I was walking through the airport in my fucking socks. And then my plane was delayed for almost an hour leaving Boston. I love this hat. And I got TJ a paperboy hat. And he loves it. I got it blue. Those are the boots I was wearing from 6 o'clock in the morning until about 10 o'clock last night. And then I was in the wrong terminal in Boston. I was in Terminal A and I had to walk to Terminal C. And I said, where is that? And he said, up the escalator, up the next escalator, across the bridge, and on the other side of the parking lot, parking garage. I think it was about a half mile to 3/4 of a mile walk. I was going to, and I walked so slow. But I did it. Took a bus to Newbury Street. Oh my God, that makes my feet, my feet are, but they look fucking good. I had so much fun dressing up in the Isle of Man. And I literally did create a profile on a website called locate.im. And it's an employment website. In order for you to be able to immigrate, they're totally open to immigration, but you have to have a work visa. And in order to get a work visa, you have to have employment with a company on the island. And then they fill out an application that certifies that they have employment for you. And then you can get a work visa for 3 months, 6 months, up to 5 years. You cannot be there for more than 5 years. But that's also because at 5 years, you can actually apply for citizenship. And one of the reasons I want to go back is because that's where my family is from. It's the beginning of it's the beginning of where I could find my roots. They started there. My great-great-grandfather was the last original Manxman. And the author of his biography explained to me with the lineage how I have more Manx in me than the other side of my family, because my great-great-grandfather had one child born on the Isle of Man before he immigrated to the States, and his other 2 children were born in Nebraska. And I come from the lineage of the son that was born on the Isle of Man. And he's named on the Manx, gosh, what is it? Patriots Roll of Honor as one of the 16 most influential, sacrificial historians that contributed the most to the progress of that country. There were 16, and he's on that honor roll. And I want to go back. I want to go back. If your grandfather was from there, I think you can get that. Oh, it's not my grandfather, though. It's my grandfather's grandfather. So, I mean, he did the survey for the Panama Canal, and he invented how to hit a ship broadside. He did a bunch of shit. He was an inventor and an engineer and a master carpenter. But I have been like thinking about asking. The college is named after him, so I have the pictures of the William Kentish College of Engineering, the School of Engineering. I've toured that too, and there are all these plaques and signs all over the island for him, where he was born, the house he was born in, the house he was raised in. They did a dedication for a tree. They have the farm where his father grew up is still there, and that has that's all historic registries, and they're protected sites other than the house he was born in, because that was modified too much and prior to it being named a historic site. But it does have a plaque on the bridge. So I'm thinking about asking them if that makes a difference. I don't know if it does, but I found out that there are still Kennishes that live on that island. Someone was like, oh, we have some Kennishes here. And they're such friendly people that I'm like, I'll go knock on the door. I'm like, oh, hi, you're Kennish? Like, my family's Kennish. Do I have family? Does that mean I can have Christmas now? Like, I want to hate Thanksgiving so much. Like, do we get holidays? Knock. I'll cook. So I'm looking into different options. And then oh my God, that I might rent out my house. It should definitely check that out. And you know what else? They have some of the strictest regulations and guidelines on animal welfare. I asked them, I went on the website to see if I could bring my chickens, and I can bring my chickens. And all they need is they have to be transported by a certified poultry and livestock transport company that will adhere to the guidelines to make sure that their welfare. I mean, 21 pages on how to properly care for poultry and your livestock. I mean, we don't have that here. In our county, chickens are considered meat birds, and all they need is a water source and some form of shelter. That is it. And over there, they have to have fresh, clean water. They have to be given a certain diet that's conducive to their nutrition. They have to, if they're going to be kept in a cage, they have to be in a cage they can stand up, stretch, move their head, move their neck, spread their wings, turn around, make themselves comfortable. They can't be stacked where one shits on the other. I mean, they literally say you can't have one chicken shit on another. I'm like, they talk about how if it's too hot, you can't transport them because they don't have the ability to self-regulate and cool themselves. They'll start panting, and if they pant too much, they'll get. I'm like, they had all of the knowledge on what a chicken needs, and they put it in their animal guidelines, and they do it for the livestock and everything else. So I was like, yes, I want to. You need a certification from an avian vet that they're healthy, so that they know you're not bringing avian flu over, which I agree with. But I was so impressed with, I'm like, go ahead, check my chickens out. They get fucking waffles and shit. They eat blueberries and cantaloupe, and they get mealworms and all kinds of yummy shit. So I was really, really impressed with their regulations for animals and livestock. They said that you cannot, during transport, you cannot do or cause any harm or distress more than the minimum distress that an animal will go through naturally in a transport situation, which means they have to be comfortable on the ship or in their crew, wherever they are. You can't make it worse. So they're already going to be slightly distressed just being transported. That's the maximum that you can do to them. They have to be kept comfortable. Their temperature has to be acclimated. They have to have food and water. They have to have a place to relieve themselves and I think that at certain ports they have to be like some of them have to be taken off and aired and walked and stuff, but put them. It's just amazing. Like I think it was fantastic. My cat is back on the floor in front of me, making me pet him, and his hair is in my nose. Come here, Stitch. My big boy. Right? We wouldn't have you distressed. So I was going to do a podcast on that whole dating thing. I'm disheartened. Oh, let me get back to that for a second, because maybe I changed the subject because I'm not sure if I should share it or not, because it's going to speak volumes about me being a hypocrite. So I mentioned earlier, like this is going to be a 180 going back to the dating thing. I mentioned earlier that I was talking to like 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys that were like here in the States over the past few weeks. And 3 of them were like assholes. And there were a couple that seemed nice, but didn't really go anywhere. So I went on a date with this one guy. And he seemed pretty nice. Nice guy. And we got to talking like just in messages. And the messages started to like go in a certain direction where I was like, and he made a comment about me being so confident and not shy, that I'm a strong, confident woman that embraces her sexuality or something like that. And I was like, okay, you met me once and you're so far off the mark. I'm like, am I confident? Yeah, fake it till you make it. I mean, my confidence is certainly better than it was years ago. I said, but I am not someone who is not shy. And because I'm loud and social, people think because I'm loud and sort of kind of funny sometimes and sarcastic, and I have an off color sense of humor, they automatically assume that means I'm some kind of dirty whore, or that whatever, game on. And it's not. I cannot tell you. I have tried to stress till I am blue in the face that the expression, it's the quiet ones you have to worry about, is so fucking true. You have no idea. There are people that will act prim and proper and demure and very quiet, and you think that those are the ones that are only going to wear their boyfriend's school pin for 6 months, and those are the ones that are bending over at their ankles in the bathroom. It's just not me. And when I said that to him, he was very surprised. And I said, well, here's the deal. And I gave him my whole spiel about how I don't sneak out of bed in the morning to fix my hair and makeup, because if that's the case, it's too soon. I'm not getting into bed with anybody until I'm ready to roll over with dragon breath and say, good morning, And he made a few comments that surprised me, that left me speechless. And I looked at the phone and I was like I didn't in a nice way. And I was like, wow, like that would be somebody that actually could put me at ease and I would be comfortable with quickly, you know? And we both sort of looked forward to seeing each other again, which I thought was nice. And then he couldn't make it. And I'm like, yeah. And he's not that interested. He knows I'm going away. And he only lives here for 6 months of the year. And in about 2 fucking weeks, he's going back to another state for the winter. So I'm like, he knows I'm going away. Like, how much do you want to see somebody? All right. And then I made a comment and I did it on purpose. I don't ever say anything by accident. I might say something too quickly sometimes before I'm done collecting my thoughts, and it needs to be either retracted or added onto and completed. But I'm very particular about my choice of words. And I said, okay, well, so much for getting laid before my plane goes down. And it was a joke, but there's a little truth in every joke. Yes, I can bring my cats with me. Of course. I was more worried about the chickens because sometimes you can't bring poultry. It has to be like an agricultural area, but that whole island is. And so I made the joke and it was a test. And ironically, he was then available. And the joke wasn't that he was going to get it. I said, I'm not, I made, that was a joke and it was a joke, but I said it specifically because I knew if I just cracked that window open, would he suddenly, who wasn't available, now become available? And he was. And I'm like, funny. So we hung out and I was leaving, I think, like a day or the following, not the next day, but the following night in the middle of the night, I was leaving. And, they say you make an exception to a rule and then the exception proves the rule. And so I did something really naughty and I made an exception to the rule and I let him stay over. And something wasn't sitting well with me that night and the next day. And like I said, you can't unfuck the babysitter. Wasn't sitting well with me. So I looked something up and it turns out he lives in a town not far from here where I know someone who's lived there forever. And I said, hey, I think he's married. And he fucking is. Fucking married. The nice guy who gave the whole spiel about how he's divorced and had to buy out his wife and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, really? You don't think I have access to tax records, motherfucker? You got like 2 or 3 houses and both your names are still on them. And I know where she works, where you guys are like pillars in your fucking community. So that's why he's not available. Because he's got a fucking wife. And don't I feel like a fucking fool now? And what does that say about me? Fucking yelling from the rooftops. I don't fucking do that. And that's fucking why. And I made an exception. And ding, ding, like a fucking fool, the exception proves the rule. Now, I haven't even said anything to him yet because he hasn't really been available. We've been chit-chatting since I was gone. I knew this before I left, but I was waiting for confirmation, and I only got confirmation yesterday. And so I asked him last night, hey, you busy? Because I got a question for you. And he didn't respond for a while, and I got some bullshit reason later on. And we've been just random messages. He's available conveniently. And I haven't decided what I'm going to ask. I was like, are you going to come clean about being married? I'm just thinking that when if it comes up, the question I was going to ask him is, so how long do we both have to pretend that you're not married? And so doesn't that just solidify all the things I've been saying about don't fucking rush into this shit? Because now I'm like, you know what? He wasn't fucking deserving. He wasn't deserving. Piece of shit fucking liar. Wasn't deserving. And maybe somebody else was and didn't get it. And now I feel like a cheap fuck. It wasn't even good. Should have stopped at the fucking... When somebody's a bad kisser, just shut it down. Just shut it the fuck down. It's just... Whatever. Yeah. So, what can I say? I'm not perfect. I did something that was against my grain. When your gut tells you that something's against your grain, fucking listen to it. But I have this paranoia that I'm going to die every time I get on a plane. I start texting everybody from the runway that I love them. If it's the last message I ever send, I tell my kid, I'm like, mommy's on the runway. My kids are 23 and 20. I'm like, it's time for the messages. I'm proud of you. I'm getting on a plane. And then I panicked yesterday coming home. One of my flights, something didn't sit well with me. And I started texting TJ. I said, TJ, something's wrong with the flight. And I start to almost cry. I was on 8 planes in the last 5 days. And one of them was my gut. So I text everybody. And there was a piece of me that was like, you know what? You're such a tight ass and you're such a fucking prude. What if your plane does go down? You made that joke about not getting laid before your plane goes down. And the fucker's married. How many other people has he done this with? You can't take back what happened. Oh, yeah, I can take something from it. Yeah. Stick to your own fucking rules. Make an exception to the rule, and the exception will prove the rule. And there's nothing to me. Nothing is worse than a liar. Nothing is worse than a liar. Because that is all encompassing of the worst thing you can do to anybody. Because if you lie, it's mean. If you lie, it's not kind. If you lie, it's disrespectful. I mean, you can have all these things that you don't like about somebody, but if you just say lying, it's all encompassing. In order for somebody to lie, they have to choose to deceive you. They have to choose to betray you. They have to plot, plan, cover their tracks, and make up a story. And I find it insulting to my intelligence because most people that lie come up with the worst fucking lies that I look at them and I say, not only do you think that you're that smart, you think I'm that stupid, that I fell for that or that I believe that. To me, the worst fucking thing you can do is lie. You're only worth your word. And once you lie, anything that comes out of your mouth is questionable at that point. If I trust somebody, their word is law. When I don't trust them, I wouldn't believe that their name is what their name is. We've all been vulnerable. Yeah, it's not that. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself. If I was going to make an exception, it should have been worth it. Couldn't have been worth it. Really? I mean, when somebody has to tell you afterwards, I owe you an orgasm, that tells you right there, you just wasted your fucking night. You got your free ticket. It was wasted. He's like the kid that got the free Wonka ticket. Charlie Bucket. Yeah. So anyway, that's my podcast. We're coming up on an hour. I covered a bunch of stuff on Isla Man, but it was really for the guys that are out there, if you're really looking, I asked Adrian this today. This is what was important really quick. I said to him, Adrian, let me ask you this. Let's say you start dating this chick. This is a scenario. You start dating this chick that you're kind of into, and you're having a great time, and you guys are hitting it off, and there's some chemistry, and you decide that maybe this would be worth having her kind of hang around for a while. But let's see where it goes. And you guys progress to that point where you have sex. And then you're like, you know what? This chick is really cool. I want to keep this around for a while. And then when you think you guys are really enjoying each other's company, you think it can't get any better. As you get more and more comfortable with each other, oh my gosh, all of a sudden shit just went to another level and got wicked. And you're like, damn, this is a keeper. And you live in a really small island. Would you like to know that in hindsight, she got passed around like family style dinner on a small island, and have to wonder that when you run into somebody that she casually dated, did she do all that shit with them? Or is what you have actually special because that was just for you? And he was like, well, you know what? I don't want to have to wonder if. He said, yeah, it's just, I said, okay, so it's not really that much different where I am. I'm from a larger place, but people generally tend to date within their community or within their social circles. I mean, they ask you for a radius. If it's a 50-mile radius, that island's 40 miles. So you're still dating within an island. So when you know people, do you want to know that the person that you're with has been ridden hard and put away wet, like a rental car? Or do you want to know that everybody has a past, but at least there was some discerning choice, that everyone's going to have a past, but who wants a past with a long rap sheet? Or who wants a past that, okay, you're human, we're all human, we've had relationships. I mean, I don't think anything's wrong when you're in a relationship. I don't want to be, and when you're in small circles and people want to talk, you think that they're going to paint you in a pretty light? Human beings are not nice and they're gossipy. Do you think they're going to say what a nice girl she is? Like, oh, you should see what I did with that one. Oh, fuck, man. It twisted her up like a fucking pretzel. I don't want to be talked about like that. So I'm discerning about, things like that. And once I put it to him like that, he looked at it differently. He was like, yeah, I could see that. I don't think I'd want to be with somebody who's been, he's looking for something fun and short right now because he just got out of a long marriage and it was whatever. And he's welcome to do that. He's not looking for the girl he's going to bring home to Sunday dinner or the keeper. And that's fine. But when he is, even he said, he doesn't want somebody that's been passed around like a football. And I'm not going to be the football. So the guys that are out there, don't talk to these women. If you really, really if you actually want a relationship, be respectful. Don't just wait, because it will come to you and it will be worth it. And if it's not, who gives a fuck? You didn't want it anyway. So big deal. You had to wait a month instead of a week, whatever. But if you don't want a relationship, that's okay. Don't fucking say you do. And please stop posting pictures of your fucking boats and the gym and the bathroom and the shower and the boats and the toys, and then wonder why you have these women that want boob jobs and be taken on vacations and jewelry and shit. You post that you have money and that you spend it on these things, and you're bragging about the things that you have. You're not bragging about who you are. So you're going to wind up with a woman that you can brag about having. And that's not a woman who you can brag about who she is. That's all. Lousy lay? Yeah, I mean, kind of. Yeah, pretty much. It was. I knew it was really bad kisser, like really bad. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I couldn't even follow it. I'm like, what are we doing here? I think I got bit a couple times, and not like nibbled, like bitten. Like, it wasn't good. It was not good. And this is why I don't tell anybody that I know in my area that I have this channel, because I don't ever want anyone that I know to see it. Heather, one big concern of mine is bringing somebody home that might be a serial killer. Absolutely. Well, I have a shotgun in my bedroom. How do you plan to work around this? Oh, I have a 12-gauge shotgun that is on the shelf right above my bed. Oh, and just to get, hold on. There's also a rifle right under my couch. I don't know. I thought about the serial killer thing. Like, really, I'm armed. I've thought about the serial killer thing. And I think I might throw them for a loop. Because I've been so miserable lately that if somebody wanted to like kill me, I think I'd probably surprise them and be like, please just go ahead. Just don't make it hurt. Oh, you're here? Finally, let's get this over with. I've been dying to go out. Yeah, I am a little concerned. I do, believe it or not, surprisingly, Tinder, I don't know about the other apps because I'm not on them anymore. I can't speak for them. And I met TJ on Tinder. You can meet nice people on there. You really can. I just think that the dating world has progressed in a negative way so much in the last 7 years it's been since I've been on it. But they have so many safety measures in place. First of all, they have your messages are read, and there are algorithms put in place that when certain words pop up, you get warnings. Or not only do they give you a warning about saying something, they will give you a warning that says, sounds like somebody might be saying something that makes you uncomfortable. Would you like to report them anonymously? There are a lot of checks and balances in place. They have pop-ups that tell you that if you're going on a date, you can have them track your location. There are many, many, many safety measures in place on Tinder. Shockingly and surprisingly, I was quite impressed. almost to a fault where I said the word ass in a message, and they asked me if I wanted to speak inappropriately to somebody. Do you want to rethink your message, or would you like to send it? Because you could be reported. And I'm like, no, I only said the word ass, and it wasn't in a bad context, so I sent it. They really do have, they're watching a lot. They're watching those messages. And that's why they tell you, if you want to talk to somebody outside of the app, that's at your own discretion. Don't say that out. Well, I mean, think about this. If a serial killer showed up, don't they expect you to beg for your life? Don't they thrive on that? It gives them like a thrill. What do you think they would do if they walked in and be like, and I'm like, great, you're finally here. They'd be like, but where's the fun in that? They'd probably leave. But yeah, and it's give it a try. I mean, I really kind of wanted to try Our Time. I'm a little concerned about it though, because they say it's for people 50 and over. And I'm gonna be 50 in a couple of months, but it looks like people in their fucking 80s. And I don't know. I don't know. I think I should just be single and hang out with my chickens. What else? Oh, good for you. Yeah, I mean, that's awful, but yeah. I don't know, you can shock somebody. I mean, think about that. What do they say? If you're this stupid ass advice, don't listen to it was the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard. These people that are like anti-gun or anti-self-defense, they're like, oh, I mean, if you're being raped, you can think of things that will reduce his libido. Like, think about urinating on him. And I'm like, that'll probably fucking turn him on. He gets a golden shower on top of it. Like, that's what don't fight back? Like, pee on him? I just, yeah, no, I'll just shoot you. I don't know. That's it. You guys have any final thoughts? How many are we had like 3 people here today. It was a small class. Small class. Oh, I seriously, I wouldn't ever want 10 inches. I didn't know. I joke around and I'm like, please, I had 2 C-sections. Like, it has not been stretched. But it turns out that C-sections actually cause a dropped, what is it? Not the uterine walls, the cervical wall. It's like your cervix drops. I don't think I don't think I could to be busting a brick wall at like 6. It ain't happening. How is your time? Oh my gosh, Bob, love him. I met so Bob, you're talking about the author of my great great grandfather's biography. He is oh, he's a phenomenal human being. He made no money writing this book. He didn't do it for profit. He had to get a grant to help with some of the research, and he profited in no way, shape, or form from having this book published. In fact, I think at one point they made 500 copies, and when there was like $60, like $60 left over after like the books were sold, and he donated it to an organization. Like, he didn't do it for any sort of self-advancement. He did it, as he explained to me, because he was interested in Manx history, and he didn't realize that there was as much of it available as there was, and he was looking at a different inventor initially, and it led him to my great-great-grandfather. And he was so intrigued by the things that he had invented and created and patented that it opened a can of worms for him, and he went down the rabbit hole. It took him 4 years to write this book, and the lengths that he went to get the research. He had to go to the UK several times and get permission from Parliament and a few other places where they have, like, the UK prides themselves on having 60 miles of historic records in their original paper form, which I got to see. A lot of it, handwritten letters. He went down, what are they called? It's the records of a ship, the ship's records. What each person on the ship does each day. There's a registry, a log, the ship's logs. He has copies of all of the original ship's logs, and he knew where my great-great-grandfather was and what he did every single day on the ship, because he had to sign in and sign out. And he was concerned that there were 2 months that there was no data entry for him, and he was wondering what happened, and he was like looking into all of it. He's the one that got several of the locations named as preserved historic sites. He is also the one that went to Tinwald. Tinwald is the parliament and is the oldest consecutive democratic parliament in the history of the world. It was started by the Vikings, who settled the island at one point. And he went to them and nominated William Kenish for the Patriots Honor Roll, the 16 most influential, self-sacrificial people that advanced that country with no desire for like self-promotion, just for the sake and the integrity of the country. He's the one that had that happen. And you can see he almost gets like choked up, because I told him I think he's run into so few people that have such a deep interest in it the way he does, like I did. And he appreciated my appreciation. I mean, I'm like, thank you. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't know this much about it. I had a paragraph from a book from when I was a little kid that I wrote a book report on, and that's all I knew. I found that the history of my family, my mother's name, is 3 generations back. I mean, I didn't know where Jane came from, but I know that all of my uncles, my grandfather, my uncle, my cousin, are all have William in the name, and my other uncle has. I mean, they're all. And to see that my mother's name came from somebody in history too was, it, it hits close to home, and I feel he was robbed. He was stolen from. He was taken advantage of. He may have been dyslexic, but he was a genius. He was a self-taught engineer, self-taught master carpenter, and in 4 years taught himself, from speaking only Manx, taught himself to read and write and speak English, and then became the master carpenter on the ship to the admiral, and in 7 years, and got yellow fever from doing the survey for the Panama Canal, and died and was buried in a pauper's grave in Brooklyn, and didn't have a headstone for 150 years. And it took Bob Stimson to, I get chills. Bob Stimson started raising funds and got everyone involved, and they shipped an original Manx granite stone overseas, and it was put in place, and they had an official burial and ceremony for him on the 150th anniversary of his death. I mean, he deserved better. And he said that his claim to fame was that when William Kenish was approved for the Patriots Honor Roll, he was just over the moon. That they said in the ceremony that it was thanks to Bob Stimson for nominating him and bringing him to Tinwald's attention. And he said that was his moment of glory. And that's all, you know. So I'm surprised no one in your family didn't want to experience that with you. I don't have any family. I don't have any family. That's why I would love to find some family in the Isle of Man. If I have a cousin in Colorado, but he's from my father's side of the family. So no, I don't have any family. And if I saw a movie about this, I would be talking about it the whole way home. And the fact that it's a family member is like, I didn't go there to ride his coattails by any means. I went there to be like, the pride, like, wow, just absolutely amazing. And the funny thing is, here's the irony, because I was telling this to a couple of guys. I was having dinner at the bar in Dublin for my overnight before I came back. And a guy at the bar next to me struck up a conversation. We were talking about things, and the bartender was like, I have goosebumps. So William Kenish fled the Isle of Man when his betrothed left him. He was heartbroken. It was gut-wrenching. And he just fled the island. He couldn't be there. And he joined the British Royal Navy. That's how he winds up in the UK with the British Royal Navy. His love left him. And I guess they were supposed to be married. He then had emigrated after he was in the Royal Navy. He went back to the Isle of Man, had one of his children, and then wanted greater opportunity. So he sold some of his patents so that his family didn't have to go over in stowage, and they could have a seat on the ship. And that's how he lost the patents to his inventions. And when he wound up in Nebraska, he had 2 more children there and died in Brooklyn. And I look and I'm like, okay, so I was supposed to get married a few weeks ago, and my honeymoon was gonna end up in the Isle of Man, and I didn't get married. And it's like, okay, but I didn't wanna go to the Isle of Man for a honeymoon, I wanted to go for my family, so I went. And now it's like, I wanna go back and I wanna move there. So it's kinda like coming full circle, and I'm a carpenter. I do carpentry. And when I was a kid, I wrote poetry and I won poetry contests. My great grandfather was also a published poet. I bought one of the books on Amazon the other day. It arrived when I was gone. So it's called Mona Isle. And that's his book of poetry. He loved the Isle of Man so much that he wrote tons of poetry about the island and Manx heritage. And so it's with the British Historical Society. And so I felt like I'd be coming full circle and bringing my heritage back home to the motherland. My betrothed let me flee the States and go back to the Isle of Man. And the guy at the bar was like, what? You have a book that's published, you write stuff, you write and you're a carpenter, you do carpentry, and wait, and you were gonna get mad. And I'm like, yeah. So I kind of feel like if anything was meant to happen, maybe it's supposed to. Who knows? So I might rent out my house. I don't think I would sell it, but I would rent it out. And if I rented out my house, at least I'd have somewhere to come back to if it didn't work out. And I can rent it for a lot more than what my mortgage is, which would help me with expenses and maybe getting somebody to do property maintenance while I was gone. Because it's me hard to fix shit from across the sea. You didn't know what? What, that I was supposed to get married? Three, was it three girl time? What is, I should get my fucking glasses. 3 girls. Oh, the great time? I don't know. What, did you not know that I was supposed to get married? Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's why I say I don't like holidays. I don't I mean, I have 2 daughters, but they're 20. They're like busy. Whatever. It's okay. It is what it is. Um, it's okay. I have my cousin in Colorado, and he's awesome. He's older than me, and when he was in high school, I was a little girl. I was a baby, and when he was in high school, he'd take shop class, and he built me a rocking horse, and I hadn't seen him for like 30 years. And when I saw him, I said, "Hold on a second." And I went and got the rocking horse. He had my name carved into one of the rockers at the bottom of it. I was like 4. And I remember riding that rocking horse all the time. And when my daughter was born, I refinished it and I wrote her name on the other rocker. And when I pulled that rocking horse out 30 years later, he just looked at me choked up. And he's like, "You have that?" I said, "Of course I have that. You're my family. And you made this for me. I don't ever get rid of something that's sentimental." And I still have that fucking rocking horse. I love Ireland. We were stranded on Ireland. I will notice the people on the buses all say thank you before they get off. Every single person in Ireland said thank you before they got off the bus. I thought that was the nicest thing. I didn't have the best experience in Ireland. I mean, I was only there for a couple of hours one day, and a cab driver took advantage of me, and I lost a lot of money with him taking me somewhere I didn't ask him to go. And then I had to just get off the bus. I had to get back on a bus and go straight to the airport. But I'm estranged from my remaining family. Okay, so it's it's pretty much the same thing. I have relatives. I just don't have family. And it's only because I'm estranged from one person. One person. And that one person has turned everybody else against me because I don't talk to that one person. And so I haven't spoken to them in years. So I feel you. It's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. I have relatives. I don't have family. My brother was my family. He actually passed. The men in my family drop like flies. The women in my family live forever. We're like roaches. You cannot kill us. And I think the men drop like flies because they try to get away from the women in my family. And I'm breaking the cycle. All right. I'm going to go. wanted to give. I want. Yeah, the people. So, oh, you know what? Ireland and the Isle of Man are not very, very different. The Isle of Man is like nowhere I've ever been before. Oh, you're Capricorn. TJ's an Aries, which I don't even want to get into because the one person in my family that started this whole estrangement thing is an Aries. But TJ's an Aries. I tend to, as a Capricorn, Anne, tell me that you're not sucked into Leo like a fucking magnet. I wind up being drawn to Leos left and right. My best friend was a Leo. My ex-husband's a Leo. My daughter's a Leo. And Leo, Capricorn serves Leo on the karmic wheel of life. They're ahead of us in the karmic wheel. And so like we serve them. So if you're ever in a relationship, whether business, friendship, or romantic, you will do everything for a Leo and you will get nothing in return because those vain motherfuckers won't give you anything back. We get along pretty well with Cancer and believe it or not, Scorpio. Sagittarius makes very good friends for us. But I have not ever been able to be in a relationship with a Sagittarius, and I couldn't figure it out until I realized that every single Sagittarius I've ever even gone on a single date with has made me incredibly uncomfortable with their judgmental nature. I didn't feel like I could be myself. So, but I had some really good Sagittarius friends. But Virgo's good. I would stay away from Aquarius. I think Aries. It's hard for me to say anything nice about an Aries, except TJ's an Aries. And he's an Aries. Are you a January or a December Capricorn? Yeah, we should talk. Is it the great time? Yeah. We should talk sometime. I never met a narcissist that didn't control me. Until I woke up. And then they sabotaged. Anne, are you still there? When's your birthday, Anne? Who else is in here? Oh my gosh. So we the crown number 3. Does it say the great time? I think it does. We should talk. We should really talk. All right. Any other questions? I think Anne left, or she's quiet. Three-quarter time. Is that like a horse reference? Okay. So three-quarter time, we should chat. I remember when you came on the channel. Oh, it's a Jimmy Buffett. Okay. Is it kind of like 5 o'clock somewhere? Do you know my ex-husband, his brother did like major in-home sound system installs, like surround sound, theater sound, things like that, but like in big estates. And he did Jimmy Buffett's sound system in the Hamptons. That's his claim to fame. Oh, living and dying in three-quarter time. I have to look that one up. Oh my gosh. So look up Shabuzi. I love Shabuzi. He's like a new artist. He's supposed to be like a country artist, but he's black man with dreads, and his music is fantastic. So he's got a new song out that when I heard it, I could not stop listening to it on a loop. I think I got choked up the first time I heard it because I'm like, shit, was he looking through my fucking window when he wrote that song? Look up Shabuzi. Good news. Three-quarter time. I think you'll appreciate. Go look up Shabuzi. Fucking good news. And Oh, and you're a Virgo? I thought you said you were a Capricorn. Oh, you're asking me about, let me go back a second. You wanted to know, oh, I know you're a Capricorn. What would you mind asking? Oh, so I'm a Capricorn, teaches an Aries. So you're a Virgo? Oh, I just said I love Virgo. Virgo's, my brother Greg was a Virgo. My brother Greg was a Virgo. I've been attracted to Leo because they're so easygoing. Yeah, but they're a little high maintenance. You want to, they say if you want to get a message to Leo that you know they're going to see and hear, post it on a mirror because they're always looking in it. I have found in the long run, they are not for me. Yeah. Oh, unfortunately not for me. I haven't found a sign that is for me yet. I will definitely. I'll put a message in community. You know where community is? 3/4. It's like where the bulletins are. I'll give you like one of those navigational roadmaps to like an email. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go, guys. And where did Ingrid go? I hope Ingrid doesn't feel slighted because I haven't mentioned her. I mean, I do mention I haven't heard from Ingrid in a really long time. Ingrid was 7. She was 7. All right, I'm out. Have a great day. I love you guys.